Hey guys, so to just sort of like drive home the point that I've been trying to make lately about the state of the wish fulfilled and how it generally, all of the techniques get you to the point where in the state where it's already done, meaning it's not on your mind, you're not feeling its absence, you're not feeling the lack, you're not lusting after it, you're not focusing on it, and how basically you can accomplish that by getting to the point where you realize that you're totally fine without having it. You are. And how getting to the point where you don't really care about it is basically the exact same thing, which you can logically, rationally work your way towards in 3D right now in your brain. You know, you can reason your way to the point where something that you're feeling is extremely important has been brought down to a more reasonable level, and that puts you into a better place to actually be able to have that thing in your life. And so I wanted to just drive this point home. I wanted to just go through the alternatives, okay? Because there's really only 4 states that you can exist in that compare to what I'm talking about, okay? What I've said to do is basically get to the point where you understand that you're totally fine without that thing. Like, you don't need it. You're totally fine without it. And you know you're going to get it. That's the magic combo right there. I'm totally fine if I never get this thing. Truly. It's fine if I don't get it. But I know I'm going to. That's the most powerful state to exist in. That's how I spend nearly my entire life. And I literally get whatever I want, even when I don't think I'm going to get it. This overall, I'm fine, and I always get what I want. That thing always trumps any, mundane 3D world negativity or reactions or any of that shit. I always get what I want. That's the optimal state to be in. Here are the other alternatives that you can exist in, and you can do what you want, right? So we have the worst of all possible states that you can exist in, which is I'm not okay with that without this thing, and I'm not going to get it. I'm not okay, and I don't believe, and I don't feel that I'm going to get it. From that state, you will almost certainly create that exact outer reality. I lived in, I'm not okay without having the right relationship, and I'm not going to get it for like 5 years. I just, after I ended my last relationship, I was like 36, 37, and I just thought, you know what, I think it might be too late for me. I don't think I'm going to get this thing. The odds that I'm going to find the right person at this point are just so infinitesimally small. Like, everybody's gone. All the good ones are taken. And I really fucked up here. I have to try really hard to find this. Like, I need to focus all of my attention on finding this thing that without which my life will have been meaningless. Like, I fucked up. Like, this is the state I was existing in about my romantic relationships 5 or 6 years ago. It's the worst thing. You will create experiences that match your level of desperation and fear, and you will just create the very hell that you're believing that you're in. So that's one really bad state you can be in. Next to that is I'm not okay without this thing, but I still think I'm going to get it. If you ask me, that is nearly as bad. The state of I'm not okay without this thing. I don't know. The state of I'm not okay tends to produce the outer reality of I'm not okay. Even if you believe you're going to get things, you believe that you're not all right the way you are. You think that this 3D thing is going to fix that. And then you get it, and a 3D thing can't do that for you. Maybe it can do it for a little while, but it's impermanent. The things of the world are impermanent, and you're going to return to that state of I'm not okay without XYZ. So I'm not okay without this, but I do believe I'm going to get it. I think tends to produce, in my experience, an outer experience that matches that exactly. You'll get the thing you think is going to fix the thing, but it doesn't fix the thing. It doesn't fix you, and you're still not okay. So I'm not okay if I don't get this, but I believe I'm going to get it. I don't know. I'm feeling stressed even thinking about that state of mind. Then the second best alternative, if you ask me, is I am perfectly fine if I don't get this thing, and I don't think I'm going to get it. Because who gives a shit? If you're fine without it and you don't get it, who cares? Right? Who cares? If you're really fine without something and you don't get it, no harm, no foul, right? So that's, to me, preferable than either of the other two alternatives. Now, obviously, as I started off describing, the best state to exist in is I am perfectly fine the way I am, and I'm going to get everything I want. If I have a desire for something, it's going to be fulfilled instantly. If I have a true desire that is not some other thing, like some lust, some craving, some thing that I'm trying to get to fix myself, that is going to happen for sure. I mean, sometimes those other things happen too. But for me, I know that if there's a true, like, quiet, confident desire that feels good and pure and all that stuff, I know I'll get it. And that applies to all kinds of little crap. I just had another little magical, didn't have to do anything, just happened, and I just went, really? Wow, that's weird. I almost missed it. I'll just tell you about this little thing that just came about. For about the last 6 weeks, I've been wanting to get back into yoga. I was just getting into yoga right before COVID lockdown in March of 2020. I had been going to some yoga classes, really enjoying it, really feeling the benefits from it. And I had just been getting ready to like start doing some more advanced classes with that. And then COVID happened, the studio shut down. I didn't do anything on my own at home. I was more like enjoying the class aspect of it. And since then, I have really not, at the time I was like an athlete. I had been like working out a ton for several years prior to that. And I've really like fallen off that. I've gained like 25 pounds through all the COVID madness and meeting my fiance and my dad getting lung cancer and dying. So I am significantly more out of shape than I was before. And so I've been hesitant to like go back to the class. You know, I've developed a bunch of physical problems over the last year, which finally are getting better. I've got a knee issue, I've got a back issue, I've got a shoulder issue, I've got a neck issue, and a rotator cuff problem, all happening at the same time, which is a big part of why I've been like, I need to get back into yoga. I believe it will fix it. I believe it will help. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't really want to go to a class where I might have to stop after 5 or 10 minutes. I don't want to have to sit there in the middle of a class not doing it. I don't want to get up and leave because that's disruptive. Whenever anybody does that, it really like disrupts the flow of the class. So I've just been kind of sitting here going, man, I want to do yoga, but I don't really feel like I'm in the right blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking, you know, should I maybe rent a small office around here, set myself up a yoga studio? Don't want to do it at home. I don't really have the room for it. And so this is what's been on my mind. I also wanted to do hot yoga, but also I'm kind of self-conscious about that. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to be dripping with sweat in front of people. Add in all the concerns I just discussed. That hasn't even been on the table, but it's in the back of my mind. I'm like, I really want to do hot yoga. So I'm just driving to my office. This has been on my mind for like 6 weeks, here and there. Keep thinking about it. Every time my body's like really in pain, I'm like, I really need to do yoga. I'm driving to my office yesterday, and I drive by this new thing that just like went into a strip mall right by my office. And I looked it up online, and it is a hot yoga, or hot or not, yoga rental place. So you can go in there and rent a room, has a TV, so you can, and I'm assuming they provide you with like different classes or whatever you can take, and you can heat the room if you want to do hot yoga, and you can only have 3 people in the room, so you can basically rent it for yourself or bring somebody with you or whatever. And it's like basically the ultimate fulfillment of everything that I need right now in this area. And all I've done is just have this organically come up. It's been like a true desire, even though it's not like, you know, some big thing. It's a real desire. I want to do this thing. I'm drawn to it. And it checks all the boxes. It's like a private rental. I don't have to rent an office that's like not going to get used enough to justify that, that I couldn't probably heat to the point, you know. It's like fulfilled everything. It checked every box for what I need for this desire. And it just happened. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't even like look anything. This has just been on my mind. And I'm just existing in the state all the time of, I don't need anything. I'm fine the way I am. Nothing needs to happen. You know, I've talked on this channel about my issues with weight and all of that stuff. And even in that area, you know, amazingly, over the last couple of years, I think I had to gain some weight back in order to get to the point. You know, I think I had to kind of put my money where my mouth was with this stuff, because with my weight, when it was at its ideal, it had been fully achieved, but I wasn't really okay with the idea of not having that. And it was still something I was hanging on to in the 3D. And so I've gained like 25 pounds, which I'm 5'3", so that's significant. Like, I'm significantly heavier than I was, and it's been really rough. But throughout this, it's been about a year, throughout this time, more and more I'm just realizing genuinely, like, this doesn't fucking matter. Like, the amount of time I've spent and the amount of my own self-worth that has been attached to my weight is just insane. Like, it's just insane. This can't possibly be any less of an illusion than any of the other things in the 3D world. And more, I'm just being shown that, experientially, like, this really doesn't matter. It hasn't changed anything other than in my own mind. It's just another 3D thing. And I think it's only from that state that I'll ever be able to achieve being at the weight I would actually want to be at without having attached so much to that weight that I can't even enjoy being there. I achieved essentially my ideal physical self, and I was not happy there. I was constantly living in fear of gaining weight back. I wasn't, it was just like, I had, in my mind, I had to lead this very regimented lifestyle in order to ensure that I didn't, lose it. It's basically, I was basically existing in the state of, I really need this thing and I have it. So it was just like throttling it to death. And on this channel, in May of 2020, I was talking about that from that perspective. And, I said, I haven't really turned this. I haven't really made an intention about this and let it go. And my intention was, I want to be peaceful about weight. I've achieved the thing I thought was going to bring that. It didn't. And I'm not happy. So, I got to let this go and let the divine intelligence take me to the point where I'm at peace about this. And I don't care if I'm fat and peaceful, which the idea of being fat and peaceful, I'm just still like, is that really something that could happen? Or just whether or not I can achieve this, like, fully, like, both have the thing I want and be okay without having it, the thing I'm talking about in this video. That was my intention in May 2020, and it's taken me on this interesting ride over the last year and a half since then, 2 years almost. And it's genuinely bringing me to that point because it's the ultimate state to be in. I'm okay without this, and I have it. I know I'm going to have it, or I have it, same thing basically. So I hope that illuminated something for someone. There's the getting stuff aspect of the whole manifestation thing, but that's just the surface. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to, how you're being in relation to everything in the world. And that's all that really matters. Are you peaceful? Are you happy? Are you existing in a state that feels good? That's really all it comes down to. Are you peaceful? Are you happy? So, I hope that helps somebody. Have a great day.